All right, fellow podcasters, this is it. Part 3 of the podcast interview breakdown with the Full Send podcast crew and Kodak Black. Part 1 and 2 will be linked below. And for those first timers, I'm a former entertainment reporter with 10 years of media experience. And here we go.
You know, stuff like that. That's why Florida people so crazy, because we breathe the same oxygen with the gators. We breathe the same oxygen. Florida people fucked up your.
You don't want to smoke. You don't want to do.
So when he just said Florida people are messed up, I'd be like, so do you just say that because it's like a known kind of joke that when things happen, I feel like everybody assumes it's Florida? Like anything, it's like a stereotypical joke or a meme, but it's like, oh, they must be out of Florida. Ha ha ha. So it's like, do you agree with that? Do you find it funny? Does it bug you? I don't know. I'm just curious.
You want to smoke weed? I'm actually, no, we can't smoke any more weed. Get too high from heroin before.
Why are you? My only let me smoke yaks and on the yakking miles and.
I mean, yeah, later.
Yakking miles.
So what's next for you? What are you working on right now? What's next?
Shit, I done wrote a few skits. Scripts. Like script writings, like movies and stuff. I'm bringing back City of War back out. You know, City of War was kind of like a power and all of that. So a lot of people be like, oh, what's City of War at? Bring that back out, like a little show series, like short little movies. Business ventures. I got a shop down in Wynwood. I like my love apparel, Sniper Gang apparel.
I'd also want to know how he keeps up with all his businesses and how he chooses people to be on his team to run his stuff so he can focus on his music, what his process, once again, back to the process of how he vets people to run these businesses and how he where his trust level is. Like, how do you gain his trust for these type of businesses? And he was talking about scripts. So it's like, where do you find these producers? Do producers reach out to him all the time? And how do you vet them? How do you see if they're legit or not? Things like that.
And CBD, I'm getting a truck business and tow truck business.
Tow truck business?
Yeah, tow truck business.
Like Sniper Gang trucking?
And 18-wheelers.
That would be Sniper Game trucking. Go ahead, would be amazing.
And 18-wheelers, you know what I'm saying? Like my vision of it, I want to park 18-wheelers on 1800 block. That way we from 1800 block. So I'm gonna have 18-wheelers on 1800 block.
So what's like the business model for the trucking business? Like what? Like delivering, like you used to have your own trucks, like delivering shit?
Yeah, delivering shit, you know, short stopping all the other trucks that deliver for like Amazon, Publix, and all the other little wholesale places and all the stuff.
And the most powerful question on all of those, the movies, the trucking, everything, is why. He listed off at least 5 different businesses. Why? That is the most powerful question you can ask somebody for a follow-up question is, or where did the idea come from and why do you want to do it?
You guys talk
Sniper Gang trucking.
Bro, I love Sniper Gang trucking. But
what
by the
about
way,
is there like a passion project that you want to do, like music-wise, like go out of your lane maybe or something you haven't touched yet?
I mean, most def. I got a few songs with people right now. Me and Jason Derulo, we dropping our song this month. March. A few people been talking to me about going on tour with them. Like a few elite people, like big artists.
Can't drop the names.
I don't really want to disclose that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, because that's their stuff. I don't really want to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here comes Gabe with his Wednesday
he does this
podcast.
all the
Kodak,
time.
do you like going on tour or not?
Gabe comes in.
Tour's great, but it's like, you know, at a tour, like, you don't make as much money as you do when you do, like, your one-off shows, like festivals and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I charge $300K for a show.
Sure.
But like, for a tour, there'll be, like, 100 each show date. So it's like, man, I'm missing out on my real bad. But it's like, you gotta have tour history. what I'm saying? You just gotta have that tour history. Because there's a lot of artists who be like, who be feeling how I feel and stuff like that. Nah, I'd rather make the money and run up their own bag. But then they don't have no tour history, and that messed them up in the long run. Like, for longevity. You know, I'm always thinking long term.
I would ask him, is touring as exhausting as it sounds? And would you ever do something like, would it be easier maybe to do maybe like a Vegas residency, or with everything being virtual, would you ever do a virtual concert and then to maybe even gain access to that? And this is a whole different subject, but NFTs. So are you going to have an NFT where people can invest in you for royalties, things like that? Because this interview is a little all over the place. But you know what, whatever, at this point, it's like, yeah, you can just ask whatever you want and whatever.
So what's like 300 for a show? Is that that's like for like festivals or like a one-off show?
Regardless.
But on a tour, it's 100K a pop.
Yeah, they're like the Live Nations and the AGs and all that. I'm saying you could probably get them up to go more. That's what I'm on right now. Like, man, y'all gotta go more. But
how does that work? Like, what's the business behind like the touring shit? Like, Live Nation pays. Do they pay you like the fee, and then they just like sell all the tickets, right?
This is why I like Kyle being there, because he doesn't say too much. He listens a lot, which is great. But in this case, where he's talking about the business model, is super fascinating, because even though it's just like a peek behind the curtain of what's going on in the music world. So this is a great question.
Or how does that work?
Yeah, most definitely. But they'll have little situations like with certain artists is like, you know what, we're gonna give you like 10 million right now. Man, we gonna call you when we ready for you to go until like, but you can't do no shows. You can't be like they gonna set up like a little radius for you and stuff like that. But they gonna call you when you ready. It might not even be this year. Like they might call you like 2-3 years later. I won't like accept nothing like that though.
Oh, that's interesting. So they'll come with a fat bag and be like, "We're gonna give it to you now, but you can't tour for time."
Yeah, and we gonna call you when you
have you ever like done like a model like that?
Why not?
Well, because then they can hold
like,
you for so
all
long.
your motion, like, you know what I'm saying, like. No.
Steiny right there. Why not? Once again, I cannot stress this enough. Why? Just ask why. And just like, if something didn't seem off, you saw his reaction. Why not? Like, something's off. So
Money is great, but it's like, sometimes we deeper than the money.
It's like you're tied up. That's kind of fucking whack.
Most definitely.
You lose your freedom at that point, right?
Have you ever? I hear a lot of people like Kanye or like fucking like Uzi or someone, like people complaining about like labels or the music industry. Is that ever something that like you've had issues with, like labels and shit like that, or the business side of music, like stopping you from like creative shit?
Yeah,
but you've had smooth.
Great question.
Fuck with me, like my record label, like they love me. They love me for real. You never complain. Then it's like, even if it was a situation that I don't agree on with them, I won't complain about it on the internet. I just take my lick and accept that I'm being pimped. Yeah, cause like, and just find a way to work around it. Like, you know, it is what it is. Like, you wouldn't be where you at now without them. So like, you gotta take your lick. Like, man, you know what? Shit, this is what it is until I fulfill my contract and my terms. Like, you know, like, because, you know, without them, you wouldn't be who you is. So it's like, that's what they, sometimes, like, whatever these people's situation may be, that's what it is. So, you know, they just getting all, they butter out the duck right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, you know, milking that shit, man. Sometimes they probably might milk it for too long. I understand people probably might get tired of it, but, you know, shit, that fulfill your shit. You sign for it, you sign up for that. So, like, you know, just peacefully work your way around it. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, you ain't doing nothing but make it worse on yourself.
I love that answer, because if you know anything about the music industry, it can be so shady, and you hear people come out and say like the most vile things about their record label, but he is taking 100% accountability for what he did. I signed the contract. I have to deal with it. Sure, there's going to be things that they want him to do, or that there's just no creative control, or they take something away, and it's they could disrespect him. And I know respect means a lot to some people. And just to sit there and just be like, I signed the contract. This is the deal I made. I'm just going to take it. I love that they just take 100% responsibility for that. And my other question would be, do you want to be with a label forever, or do you want to go independent and do your own thing? Like I said, to go off what I said earlier about the NFTs, like set it up where people can fund you to fund your other projects instead of having this label behind you. But I don't know what his deal is. Maybe he has a good deal. Who knows? And that would be a series of follow-up questions as well.
What advice you give to young rappers that want to come up in today's world and try and make it? What advice you give to them?
Shit, that, you know what I'm saying? What I just said, make sure the contract right before you sign it. Yeah, and the whole independent stuff like that, that's great, but you kind of like need a major, because it's like they machine different. And it's just like what I was saying about the toe stuff, like with the how you get more money with the one-off shows than the tour. Like sometimes, like I like see me, I throw my own shows sometimes, but it's like you can't really set up no tour and try to route it on your own and be like, you know what, I'm just get my 300 or more by myself and try to book all the arenas, all the venues by myself, get all the money back. Cause like Live Nation and AEG, they smart. So what they did, they fucked around and they bought all the venues. So it was like you got they made it to where you got to go through them. But like that, stay consistent and. Stay consistent. Don't never get like content and complacent like with with your shit. If you get a little spurt of success, don't really let it get to your head. Keep grinding. Really dwell.
I feel like
nothing.
it's so saturated now, like with new people coming up. Like, how do you even like pop off now? Like, I feel like so many people just pop off for a sec and then like.
Before he answers this, like what he just said was kind of, when I did red carpet interviews and asked the very similar questions about what advice do you have for up and coming actors or musicians, and people kind of said the same thing. So it's like almost a way to word it like, okay, you grind, you got to be different, you've got to hustle, but it's like, if you could just take a step deeper than that, what would you say to them?
Fizzle out. But that didn't happen to you. Like, I knew a lot of people that even popped off around your time, like in your freshman or whatever class and shit, like are a lot lower.
Also, I would ask about mentorship. Like, where can upcoming artists get mentorship? Or have you ever offered to mentor anybody? And they were talking about contracts with labels versus going independent. And it's like, get your contracts right. Well, what does that mean? Like, what are a few specific things that younger artists can be on the lookout for? Do they need a lawyer right off the rip? What if they don't have money for a lawyer? Like, what do they do?
I feel like it's so much harder now.
I feel like my freshman class probably doing better than any other class. I don't know. I ain't keeping up with it, but I feel like
who was in it? I want a reminder. Cole, can you search it up? Was it 21?
Yeah, me, Yachty? 21 Savage, Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi Vert.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was a good group.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Really good group.
They're all around.
Yeah.
Denzel Curry. Yeah,
okay, that's probably the best one.
Yeah, see, Innocent Pat.
Outside of yourself, who do you think your favorite guy
is? Gierbo. That was Gierbo with us.
Even though he just kind of missed it, great question by Steiny.
Years ago was that?
Holy fuck! Wait, go up.
That was G-Eazy. No, that's Lil Dicky. Yeah, Gierbo
21,
right
Anderson .Paak, Kodak, Uzi, Lil Dicky, Dave East, Denzel Curry, Designer fell the fuck off.
Yeah, fell off.
Panda slapped. We all love Panda. We had some good times, right? But
he had one. Panda had one banger.
He left his mark with Panda.
No, he had a couple actually. Designer.
How far Panda went?
That went
It
viral.
went huge.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as in platinum and all that.
Search it up.
It
It,
had to
must
have
have went
done,
fucking
that went crazy. I
diamond
think.
times 10.
It had to have. That was the biggest song of its time.
That was probably diamond.
Kodak, do you have a favorite guy outside of
Yo, I
yourself
gotta use the
in the
bathroom.
game
Is that
or
cool if I
what?
pee real quick?
I know Roddy Ricch went diamond on the box. Panda had to go
shit.
diamond, yeah.
The box went crazy, yeah.
Oh, see what happened there. Oh, but outside of interviews, this is like not their best feeling. Like I've been in this situation where like you're out in public and you ask somebody a question and there's so much going on. It's like they hear the question, but they're answering something else from somebody else. And it's almost like you're not even being heard. I wonder if he's going to ask it a third time.
The box went crazy, but outside of yourself, who's your favorite guy in the
He
game?
did.
Man, I salute Lil Baby. I respect dudes so much. You know what I'm saying?
The baby?
Yeah, Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
Yeah, Lil Baby. Because it's like his whole everything. Like I remember when he came out with it. That's my dog show. That's
Yep.
my dog. I was fucking with the song. You sent it to me. I remixed it, and you was saying like how man, he was in prison before he came home and pop. He was like, my song used to do it for him. Like my music used to do it for him and stuff.
That's what
And
Baby
then
said?
that's what Lil Baby was saying. Then it got to a point, you know what I'm saying, me big and me steady like going in or whatever. His song started doing that for me. But anyway, like, you know, like I've been out a little longer than them. I was just letting all kind of like little bullshit get in my way. You know what I'm saying? Me being distracted by all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even like when I wasn't going to jail, just like off of a certain little bullshit in the streets, I let it distract me. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I kept grinding and stuff like that, putting out music. I got a whole lot of music, like my catalog. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, you know, just like bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
With all that BS going on, how did you stay focused? That's what I would ask. All right, that does it for this podcast interview breakdown. But before you go, if this is your first time on this channel, my goal is to help podcasters stand out in crowded niches with podcast interviews. So if you have a podcast or you're thinking about starting one, this free download is for you. It's a list of my top 25 podcast interview questions that will make you sound like a pro so you can impress your next guest and your listeners. The link is in the description. And if you want to see more podcast interview breakdowns just like this one, click right here. And we'll see you next time.